Dampers. Let's talk about them, why they just wrecked my weekend. But first, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit my intro. If you're in the DTG or the DTF print world and you're using these wide format printers, my video is going to be specifically for the Epson based printers, but if you're using the Brother or whatever, this video probably still applies to you. However, this is going to be specifically for Epson for me. So over the weekend, I've been printing transfers, shirts, having no issues. I really haven't had any white ink issues for over a month. It's been pretty smooth sailing. I wake up, I run a head clean, and I send it. It's been great. Over the weekend, I noticed that my whites were starting to drop out. So I was getting a little bit, annoyed with it. And I figured it was time to do some just general monthly kind of maintenance. So I took off the ink lines, took off the damper carriage assembly, and I took out the head. And I soaked the head, I reverse flushed it, pulled the ink out of it, and I took the dampers and I pulled ink out of those, and I took the lines and I flushed them. And I put it all back together, and I still had white ink issues, which led me to think my dampers probably need to be replaced. So if you take a damper and you put a syringe on the end of it and you pull air through it or liquid, it should flow pretty freely. I was having some resistance on a couple of them, so I tried to clean them. What I found is that when I took the damper assembly off and looked inside the actual damper, through the little rubber gasket, I saw something in there. Took a pair of tweezers and I pulled out, no lie, a booger-sized chunk of schmegma of white ink that was stuck inside the end of the damper, clearly impeding ink flow. Once it was removed, 2 more head cleans, and I was back in business. So this video is about dampers, because dampers are the gatekeeper to the print head. And I see a lot of people online talking about white ink issues, and they always assume that it's the head that's the issue. A lot of times it's not the print head that's the actual issue. It's the method between the ink cartridge and the print head that's the issue, the actual flow, right? You can still have some flow, but not enough to engage all of your nozzles. So I had cleaned the head. I'd put a paper towel on the bottom of it, and I've had no issues getting ink out of the bottom, but I was having issues printing. And one good test that I do is I'll take some of my Purple Hammer, my nozzle cleaner, I'll put it on a paper towel, and I will just hold it up against the bottom of the print head for 5-6 seconds, pull it down. You'll have lines of ink across it. If you see all 8 lines of ink, you're good, right? That's a good nozzle check for me. It's a good print head clean. And we're not really going to see that it's clogged up. If you have, half of a line, you obviously have a pretty good clog going on. So check your dampers, because they are a serviceable item. This is, depending on how often you print, you might have to service them more often than others. It basically has a little filter in it that stops particles from making its way to the head that are larger than the filter size. So if you, over time, have stuff is getting sucked into your filter, so over time, as you keep using your printer, little particulates are going to get stuck in that filter. The filter is going to become clogged over time. It's going to impede the flow of ink to the print head, causing your ink head to starve, causing you to have inconsistent white ink coming out of your print head, or colors even. Colors are less likely to happen, but you can definitely have inconsistent nozzle checks. So check your dampers, order a couple, even if you don't need them right now, have them on deck, because when you start having these issues, you don't want to wait 2, 3, 4, 7 days for dampers to show up. So go ahead, have them on deck, get your printer back operational in minutes instead of days, and keep on printing. I hope this video was helpful. Like and subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.